Gangster. Today, folks, I'm taking questions and answers, and I'll answer almost any question that you want today. Right now, I'm on my patio here waiting for the sun to come out. Okay? It is going to come out, they say. But, I shouldn't complain. You can see the sky. And the only people on the street, folks, as you can see, okay, up couple blocks up is a temple. It's where the Persian Jews go, and otherwise the streets are pretty quiet. I shouldn't complain about the weather, that's for sure, because back east I hear they're having it bad. My son flew to Florida today. His flight was 2.5 hours late. But anyway, you don't want to hear about all that, okay? So let's wait and get some people here and get some questions. Now, for those of you hang in here, if you want to know how John Gotti actually became the boss of the Gambino family, how Paul Castellano became the boss of the Gambino family. All right, you're going to be shocked because it's something that you probably never heard before. So you want to hear gangster stories? You're going to hear one, okay? And it's a true story. Alright, so a lot of people come in, a lot of people leave. There's no attention span people have. So if you folks, I don't see no comments here. I woke up this morning when I put my phone back on and went to YouTube. It says YouTube had crashed, but it was up and running. Did anybody else get that there? There, we got La Lama Rama from Germany. Thank you. Yeah, there's Mandy. How you doing, Mandy? Everybody knows Mandy. Okay. She comes in and the numbers start to jump. Good morning, Agent Orange. How are you? So anybody got any questions for me? Let's begin with that there before I get into how Paul Castellano became the boss, why he became the boss, and so forth. Eskishmonarian. Did I say that right? I apologize if I didn't. Good morning. How are you? Well, good morning. It's afternoon here in Los Angeles. So where are you? All right, Germany. We got Germany. It's evening over there now. Okay. Yeah, there's something going on with you folks. When I had only 5,000 subscribers, I used to get 4 or 5,000 views. Now I'm approaching 17,000 subscribers. I'm getting 4 or 500 views. Okay? Dana White, Dan White from Wyoming, Herman, Andrew. Folks, you got any questions you want to ask the accidental gangster? Well, until questions pop up. Wait a minute, there's a beautiful girl walking down the street down there. Okay, we do got a little activity. I always love having the balcony, front balcony, so I know what's going on in the streets. I can see, I know it's an old habit of mine from being a gangster. Always had a direct, always had to know what your surroundings were, who was there. Folks, so if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, like, share, let your family know. All right. Booster asked me, what's my biggest regret in life? Very good question, and I thank you for that there. Okay. The biggest regret that I had, I gotta be honest with you, was leaving my first wife, getting divorced. Okay, it was a big mistake. She's a wonderful, wonderful woman. To this day, she still is. And I should have never left her. She was a woman who was always there for me, always had my back. And I thought more about sex than anything else. And I played around. Okay. That's my biggest regret. Okay. PK Warrior, how are you? I hope I answer your question there, my friend. Okay. Um, Boosty. Mm, I, uh, any more questions down here? Why did I name it the Accidental Gangster? Another good question. I never dreamt that I would write a book, but I've been an avid reader. I am to this day. I always have a new book that I'm reading. I got one on my nightstand right now. I read every night before I go to bed. I love reading because it takes you out of the zone, brings you someplace else. Okay. So while I was walking the yard, which I did, I was walking 7 miles a day when I was in prison. I thought if I ever wrote a book, I would call it The Accidental Gangster. And thus I ended up writing a book that I never thought I would. And it took me a long time to write that book. It was very painful because you got to go back in your entire life. Okay. And then you got to be careful what you're going to say, how you're going to say it with somebody like me because I don't want any more uh, any more charges coming at me. So you got to be very careful. Okay. But the book went well. And another thing I wanted to accomplish was when you read the book, okay, that my voice comes off the pages. So while you're reading, and people say that they love it, they could hear my voice as they're reading. And the book did very well, and it's in the process of being made into a Hollywood movie. All right, good afternoon, Rock. How are you today, my friend? I look like a teenager, huh? Boy, I wish I were. Okay. I bet many of us would like to go back to our teens. So, folks, when we get some more people in here, I'm going to tell you the story. I'm going to tell you anyways, okay? You either come in and leave, it goes up to 50, they'll come down to 20, okay? People have no attention span. I don't know what the freak they're looking for because they don't know what they're looking for. All right. But yeah, we got Amazon there. Look at him. Amazon across the street. Man, he's a big guy. All right, can you see him down there? He's a huge guy. Huh. So, all right, folks, let me go down, get down on my couch over here so I could, the sun's starting to come out. So that's good. I am a sun worshiper. Folks, I do not like gloomy days. Gloomy days make me upset or bring me down. The sun lifts me and gives me energy. Okay, folks, you all know the Gambino family, the largest crime family in New York. All right, was headed up by Carlo Gambino. He is one guy who was the boss. No tape recordings of him. He was an excellent boss. He grew that family, made a ton of money, and his underboss was Emilio Della Croce. Very good guy. And he would have been he should have succeeded Carlo upon Carlo's death. And what happened here is how Paul Castellano became the boss. Carlo ended up in a hospital. Paul Castellano was his brother in law, okay, and was there at the hospital. And Carlo made him the boss. He said, "You're the acting boss until I get out of the hospital." And then, no, I think he said, "You're the boss until I get out of the hospital." And then he's the boss again. Okay. And what happened was Carlo died in the hospital, and Paul remained boss, not Emilio Della Croce. Now, the guys were very upset that it wasn't Emilio, okay, because Paul Castellano was adamant about no drug dealing. And the guys in John Gotti's crew were dealing a lot of drugs. And there were tapes, recordings of some of his guys talking about drugs on the phone. Paul Castellano wanted those tapes. He wanted to hear them. Emilio Della Croce always put him off. He was able to control Paul Castellano because he knew what would happen if Paul Castellano got it. Then he would have wanted to get rid of John Gotti and John's crews, Quack Ruggiero, and a couple others there. Okay. But then Emilio ended up in the hospital and he died. And that's when John Gotti knew he had to do something. And as you all know, they took out Paul Castellano in front of Stark's Steakhouse in New York, a restaurant that I know very well. Okay? Uh, so I wanted to share that, folks, with you. All right? So keep hitting that like button, folks. Show me a little bit of love, a little respect. All right? Why did you do Lucky Luciano like that? Real Roy Cohn. Well, you're not the real Roy Cohn, okay? Because he's dead. All right. So, explain your question there, my friend. All right. Why did you do Lucky Luciano like that? I don't know what you mean. Does anybody understand that question? If so, please let me know. All right. Hey, folks, look, and I'm trying to get to 17,000 subscribers. I'm 200 and something away. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. All right. And help me out there. All right. Uh, uh, oh, we got a lot of, oh, you're busy there. You are a busy girl today, Mandy. All right. Well, Prohibition made everybody a lot of money. Are you kidding me? It was probably one of the greatest times in mob history. Kansas City, Missouri. How are you? Great city there. All right. All right. Antonio, you like my voice. Thank you so much. All right. We got somebody from Texas. Neil, how are you? Thank you. I appreciate you folks with your comments. All right, music, how you doing today? All right, just keep hitting that like button, folks. Okay. So that's the story of how John Gotti became the boss. And then we know what happened here. He became the Teflon job, won a lot of lawsuits. And then he, Sammy Gravano, and Lucasio got indicted. and Sammy Gravano became an informant. You all could hear Sammy with his stories that he tells. All right, he's got plenty of stories for sure. Sammy was a real guy. He was a real thing on the street at one time, folks. No question about that. Yeah, but I'm like they shot him when he was getting out of his Cadillac. Okay, they shot him and Tommy, Tommy, his underboss. Okay, and his driver. Uh, Tommy, I'm gonna say Bilotti. Am I right? Sometimes this old man's memory, uh, it always comes back though. You know, it always does. All right. Well, keep hitting that like button as I'm talking here. Was Carl married to Paul's sister? Yes. They were first cousins. You are correct, Bear Clan Media. Okay, and thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Uh, they were related. When Carlo first came over from Italy, that's who he stayed with. And that's how he got his start, was with the Castellano back then. So you see how everything comes back into play. It's like a circular cylinder going around and around. Okay, folks, I'm going to ask you a question. What are you doing for Memorial Day? Okay, I'm going to the VA cemetery here in West LA. All right, so put your notification. All right, help me or be with me as I go and pay tribute to our fallen soldiers who protected our country. A lot of young men, 18, 19, 20 years old, okay, lost their lives in all these wars that we're having. And now here we are almost going into another one. But Trump's confused and doesn't know what to do now. He's only got two choices here. All right, that's it. All right. He either got to concede to the Iranians or go and start bombing the shit out of them, start a war, send our land troops in, and get a lot more of our men killed. That's his choice. I wouldn't want to be confronted with those choices. Okay? Would you? You're not hitting that like button, folks. Okay? Or that subscribe, all right? Hey, Mr. Gangster, I hope you're well. Hi, Chris, how you doing? Dwayne, getting out. All right? Oh, a lot of history, Cameron and Kansas City, folks. Someday I should talk about that there. Okay? I've been to Kansas City and had to meet with somebody there many years ago. Uh, yep, great city, great people, a lot of mob history out of Kansas City. Very good crews out there. Uh, Andrew, was I part of the mafia? I don't believe the mafia exists, my friend. Okay? You got to remember, the mafia come, the Department of Justice, the FBI, U.S. attorneys, they made up that name. Okay? Oh boy. I'll tell you what happened to me when I was in prison, folks. When they first brought me to Lompoc after I got sentenced, and then, I was in MDC, Brooklyn for 30 months and fighting my case. And finally, I took a plea deal. I took a plea deal for 97 months, and I got lucky. The judge gave me 62 months. So, anyways, they ship you out, put me on Conair. They were shipping me to Lompoc. And we landed at Victorville on my birthday. It was December 17th, 2010. Okay. My birthday. I got on that plane, chain shackled. Okay. The sun was shining. I wanted to kiss the ground that I was back in California. Okay. And they ended up sticking me in Victorville for 2 months instead of going right to Lompoc. And I'm going to tell you something, all right? If you drive by Victorville Prison, you'll get diarrhea, all right? It's not a great place. It's a very tough place. And you're locked down 23 hours a freaking day. It's not fun, that's for sure. But then they finally take me, put me on the bus, shipping me to Lompoc. I'll never forget that ride on the bus. And when we finally hit the coast, I saw the blue Pacific. All right. It was really a great feeling because I was back in California. All right. When I tell you, MDC Brooklyn was a shithole then. Okay. You got no idea how bad it is. You don't see daylight there. Okay. There's no yard to go out and walk to. Okay. So you don't see the sun. All right, for 32.5 years. You're like living in the dark. It's not good. Plus all the other bad things about prison. Okay, but it's a terrible, disgusting place to be. But when they brought us in to Victorville, there were 15 of us getting off the bus for the medium facility. And you got to walk through this little passageway. And on the right is a bulletproof wall window, all right, with the guards behind it. And you got to go through before you go in the R&D, okay? Uh, and I'm the last guy. Now, when you go through there, everybody's got to give their name and their inmate number. Unless when they get to me, I'm ready to say Orlando Spado and give my inmate number. And but the guards stop and they tell everybody, see that guy in the last guy, the elderly guy? His name is Ori Spado. He's the mob boss of Hollywood from the Colombo crime family out of New York. And I'm just sitting there and I go, what the fuck? Am I in Disneyland or what? Okay, where do they come up with this shit? Okay, I just got there. Just got there. I just walk in the goddamn thing, chain, shackled, and the guards are saying that about me. Now they bring in R&D, where you get your clothing, your bedding. You got to fill out these papers, those papers. All right, all these questions they ask you. And one question they ask is, are you a member of the mafia, any gang affiliated, this and that? I mark no. Now they're back in the holding cell that they have us in. Okay. And this little guard, thick glasses, goes, hey, Spado, psst, come here, Spado. I said, yeah. He says, you marked the question wrong. I said, well, no, I don't think so. Yeah, come with me. He brings me in the office. See here, you marked this. You said you're not a member of the mafia. I said, what the fuck's the mafia? There is no mafia. I'm no member of the mafia. Yeah, you're with the Colombo crime family. That's the only family I'm with is the Spado family. I said, that answer is no. I said, you people make up this shit about the mafia. And that's where it remained, folks. I didn't change it. And then they finally assigned me to my unit. I go to my unit, and now uh, the head guard in my unit, my consular, whatever you call him, he calls me in the office. And now he wants to talk to me about Carmen Persicle. Because Carmen was there way before I was, okay? Carmen Persicle was the boss of the Colombo crime family. And he wants to tell me all these stories. Oh, that's what happened there. All right? Folks, have you heard anything about Sammy the Bull anyway? I'm not hearing anything. I don't see him that much on YouTube. I don't know if he's still there. You're right, Sean Boys. Tommy Bilotti it was. Yes. All right. Somebody, Ricky, you remember when Gotti was a menace? Here again, please explain. I don't know what you mean when you say he was a menace. All right? Cameron, Kansas City, an historic shootout. Babyface outside of Union. Oh, yeah. You're right there, my friend. You're in touch with a fight federal corruption. Agent Orange, federal corruption is so bad. I mean, it far exceeds anything that these gangs that the Department of Justice say are out there, like the Mafia, Cosa Nostra, and all that there, okay? Those guys were Boy Scouts compared to what is happening in Washington, D.C., and what they're doing. How they're robbing you and me every single freaking day. And there's not a goddamn thing we could do about it. And I'm so disgusted about it that I even want to try to stop thinking about it. All right? Now, Ivan, the unit manager at Lincoln Correctional Center, called me the Matador. Oh, yeah? Where is the Lincoln Correctional Center? Okay, is that a state facility? I'm not familiar with that there, my friend. Folks, well, give me 3 more likes over here. Give me the 50 today. Okay? Can we do that? Come on, hit that button. Don't cost you a penny. Subscribe, like, all right, and hype it. You know, people, the only one that hypes me is Mandy. You know, God bless her. Okay? Uh, our close. Hmm. Thank you, Ivan, for that respect. All right. What do I think about the Nazis? There's a lot of history that we don't know, that they don't tell us about the Nazis. Okay. And you have to do some deep diving to get the true story about the Nazis. Okay. It's not all what they're telling us, there's a lot more to it. And I'm going to leave that. That'll be a subject. Maybe I'll talk about that in the future. Okay. But I want to thank you all for all the respect that you're showing me. All right. We got one thing, I don't have 1 million subscribers, but I got the best subscribers that there are. Okay. I got some very loyal people here. And I want you to know that I recognize it. Okay, and I thank you all for all your loyalty and love and respect that you've been showing me. Because without you folks, then I got no reason to be here. you know. Uh, I can stay in my bedroom and read a book. You see, I got my TV shut off. I got a TV in my bedroom. I can't tell you when's the last time I ever turned it on. I can't even remember. I was thinking today, why do I have a TV in my bedroom? I don't watch TV laying down. All right. I know some people do. All right. I just can't. Uh, Tell me, folks, do you watch TV laying down? I find it very uncomfortable. Okay. Leave me a comment. Let me know. Come on, talk to me. Let's get some more questions here, folks, because today I give you questions and answers. Okay? Huh? Well, nature, peace is the will of men. Well, every night I pray to the Lord for peace. Will we ever have peace? I doubt it. You know, folks, I was wondering, why is Israel such a powerful nation? Why? You know, the population of Israel is 9.7 million people. 9.7 million. Los Angeles is bigger. California is bigger. Okay? United States is 350 million. Why is Israel so powerful for 9.7 million? Why? Because they got money. Why does Israel allow, but they don't say it, they have a nuclear weapon? All right? Captain Obvious, you're going to miss when my generation is gone. Well, we're up there in age. You never know how much longer we have. Life is short. It's a blip of time, folks. You know, I keep telling you. It seems like yesterday that I joined the U.S. Army. I was 18 years old. 18. Now I'm reversed that. I'm 81 years old. And the time went like that. Folks, our country is in the worst chaos, worst trouble that I've ever seen it in. I've never seen it like this, folks. It's depressing. It's terrible. And nobody cares about us. Yeah, all these politicians run for office, like I keep telling you. Okay. And I got to stop talking about politics, folks, because it's on my mind too much. I know you're sick and tired of talking about politics. Okay. Because I sure am. And I'm sick and tired of seeing all these criminal acts taking place right in front of our eyes. One thing you got to say about Trump, he's stealing from us and he's doing it right in front of your eyes. Okay? No, Captain, the young ones, there's some young ones out there, folks. If you really listen, go to your YouTube and listen to some of the young Gen Z people. There's some very intelligent ones there. Okay, on both sides, the left and the right. They're there. Thank you, uncommon woman. How are you? What makes you uncommon? Huh? I love the name some of you come up with there. All right. No, Mandy, I got no bond option. I was denied bail 4 times. 4 times I got denied bail. Yeah. And then you listen to Diddy a bitching he didn't get bail? Okay? Like he's the only one. I got denied bail 4 times. And then on the fourth time, they tell me that I was a violent person because I was friends with Sonny Franchese for so long. But the next week they gave Sonny bail. What the fuck? Steel City, Wagwan, and Mobster. You're right, I have a 23-hour lockdown is no joke. Okay? Jesse, how long have I been doing YouTube? Ask me. Uh, Really, I think I've only been active for about the past year, although I've had a YouTube channel for some time. It only seems like the last year. It might be a couple of years. I'm not sure. I gotta be honest with you. Doesn't it say it up there in my profile? Okay, I know I joined several years ago. My son put me on there, but I wasn't doing anything. Okay. Uh, Hello, Big Lon. How are you? Found one good years a double OG gangster. Who is the worst Hollywood asshole I ever messed with? Steven Seagal. That answer your question? Actually, folks, in my book, I didn't put Steven's name. I changed the name in my book, The Accidental Gangster, from insurance salesman to Hollywood fixture. Okay. But you'll read where I did a favor for somebody and I got him $2 million. Okay. I changed the name in my book. That's the only one I changed. And it was Steven Seagal's. All right, so I wanted you to know that there. All right. Thank you, Everlast. I only come in, tell you the truth and facts. All right. Yeah, Kevin, I hate that the mafia is so romanticized. People are in love with it. And they're in love with these rats. How the fuck could the people be in love with these rats? And you got them all over YouTube. Somebody, can you answer that question for me? Why do you love the rats? They lied when they took the witness stand and testified against anybody. Okay? They're lying now. Some are better liars than the other, but they're all good liars. Okay? It irritates me. All right. The Metal West, Metal Lyrics. How did I get online? Well, if it wasn't for my son, I would not be here. My son set up my Instagram, my Facebook, my TikTok, and my YouTube here. Okay? See, the one thing I can do, folks, I can talk. All right? When it comes to any of the technical stuff, I don't understand anything. All right? I just don't understand it. And I never will. It's way out of my league. I still don't know what an algorithm is. Okay? What is an algorithm? To me, it sounds like an orgasm, but it's got something to do with technology. Am I right? Oh boy. Hey folks, we're at 74 likes. Can you get me to 100? And we got 30 people here. I hope all 30 of you have subscribed to my channel. Hey, I gotta tell you something, folks. And then you guys are probably getting it, and I'm sure the girls are getting it, guys. I get a ton of new followers on primarily on Instagram and TikTok. I'll guarantee you I get 20 a day on each of them. New followers, all women. But folks, all sexy women. Now I don't follow them back. See, when somebody follows me, I check their profile out. And they all got these pretty pictures. And then you see some of these girls, beautiful girl, and you'll see them with a military outfit on, like they're in the army. Now I got caught years ago with one, so I learned my lesson really quick in there. Okay, one I followed back. All right, had a military outfit on, and we were talking. She told me she was a nurse, and she was in the war in South Africa. I didn't know what there was even a war going on. There was none. All right. Well, of course, she was a fraud. They're all frauds, so be very careful of it. Don't follow them back. You follow them back, the moment you hit follow back, you're going to get a text from them. All right. And even if you don't follow them, you're still going to get a text. All right. They, hey, baby, hi, my love. I love you. They don't know shit about you. They know, like, where are you from? Well, wait a minute. You follow me. Where I'm from is all over the freaking place. You can't miss it. Okay? So, folks, you got to be careful. There's so much junk. And you know one of the things I don't like? Okay, there's certain people that I watch on YouTube, different YouTube channels. But any YouTube channel that I watch for longer than 30 seconds, I hit that like button. And you know why I hit that like button, folks? I feel if that individual could take the time to create content and come and try to get his word out or her word, they deserve a like. And that's what I do, folks. That's a respectful thing to do. I don't know why people cannot hit that like button. It's just beyond my thinking. So if you haven't hit the like button for me yet, what the freak you waiting for? All right? And if you don't like me, give me a thumbs down. I don't care. Do something. Don't just be a stooge and sit there. Okay? Do something. Act. All right? Do something in your life. So you can say, hey, I did something. Okay? Another thing I don't like social media. You have other people, all right, that take the clips of other shows and they're showing those clips. Wait a minute. I saw those clips. I don't want to see somebody else post them. I already saw it. I mean, why people stealing other people's clips and then posting it like it's their freaking post? One thing you get from me, you get me. You don't get no bullshit. All right. And if I want to talk about something like I'm going to talk about Trump's pardons, okay? And I got here, all right, all the people that he's giving pardons to, all right. Now, I'm not going to do that now. I'm saving it for another day, okay? You're going to want to see it, folks. You're going to want to see it. There's not one Italian name on there, not one black name on there. Not one Spanish name on. Oh, there might be. Yeah, he had a few 100 million. Okay, and let's see. Yeah. Oh, Jason Galanis. I know Jason. Hmm. Lincoln, Nebraska. Yes, Rock. That answer is yes to your question. Okay. Rib chicken and beef dog, potato salad and bean and bell peppers. Wayne, that what you're reading now? Boy, you're eating a lot there, my friend. Yes, ribs, chicken, and a beef dog. It's the only kind of hot dog to have, folks. Okay? Hey, folks, isn't Mandy doing a wonderful job? Huh? And she's awesome, folks. And I'm going to tell you about a business that she might be forming pretty soon. All right? It might be useful to anybody that might be in debt. All right, owe a lot of money on credit cards and so forth. We're going through tough times, and she should be a paralegal. She'd be awesome at a large law firm for the kind of work she does, and she's a very brilliant young lady. So I wanted you to know that, and after I have a talk with her, I got some work I gotta do today, folks. It's Saturday, the sun's coming out, there's a little breeze here. Folks, we're at 85 likes. Let's try to get me to 100 here today. Okay, let's make this a very special Saturday. And like I told you, don't forget, you want to have your notifications on. Because on Memorial Day, as I told you earlier, I'll tell you again for those who weren't there, I'm going to be doing a live from the Veterans Cemetery here in West Los Angeles. It's a huge place, folks. Okay? And a lot of fallen soldiers. And I don't want to see any more of our young men that had to die in a war that we got no business being in. None at all. Tell me, do you think we should be in this war? Leave me a comment. I want to know. Bound White, thank you for your respect. I appreciate that there. Yeah, we're getting up there. We got 86. Come on, folks. Hit that like button. Come on, let's smash that like button. Okay, let me show it. Show me that you got some energy today and you could hit that like button. Okay? All right, let's do it. All right. Nazis in the Republican part of the White House. Miller, Felon, Musk, Wayne, Stephen Miller. What does Stephen Miller have on Donald Trump? He must have some really dirt shit on Trump. Because sometimes I feel like it's Stephen Miller. Trump's ideas are coming from Stephen Miller. Well, all right. Yeah, Kevin, because, the soldiers did because they were true patriots. They truly loved this country. And they went to war and lost their lives. All right. They gave their lives so we could have freedom. But the people don't respect that. Okay. You know what they did to us after the Vietnam War? Okay. People went after us. And maybe they were right. Because we should not have been in that freaking war. No way, folks, should we have been in the Vietnam War. Or in many of these wars we shouldn't be in. If Hitler would have died in 1938, huh, I don't know what would happen. I don't know. I don't know. That's no cliffhangers allowed. Did Hitler hate homosexuality? Very good question. Uh, Marjorie Bedford. Very good question. Thank you for asking that there. I don't have the answer to that. All right. That's something that we should research. It's a very good question. All right. He was gay. Uh, did you do your research on that, Marjorie? Hey, folks, keep hitting that like button. All right. And 10 more likes, we're at 100. Okay. Let's do that here. All right. 10 more likes, folks. All right. Thank you, Big Lon. How are you, my friend? Joe Johnson, may God bless me. Oh, thank you so much, Joe. I appreciate that. Mm. Ricardo asked me if I miss my childhood. I wish you all could have experienced my childhood and the way I grew up. Okay. We had no phones, no computers, none of that shit, folks. Okay. We lived in a day where we knew our neighbors. We played in the streets with our neighborhood. We played stickball, kick the can, all sorts of games. Okay, we went to school together. All right, folks, it was amazing. Okay, to this day, I still talk to friends that I knew as a child. Okay, the kids today don't. Kids today, they're on the telephone, they're texting, they're going to school. You see 5 kids walking to school. I got a middle school right up the block there. All right. And I look out my window in the morning. I see 5 kids walking to school. They're all on their phone. They're not talking to each other. I mean, what kind of world is that? I see men dating girls. And they're in a restaurant. They're both on their phone. They're not talking to each other. Yeah, so Ricardo, I miss my childhood. All right. Now, folks, we need 6 more likes here. Come on, let's do it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, folks. Okay, I appreciate it. All right, you know that. Hitler is bayonet. Hmm. Uh, you got a record player. I haven't seen one in a long time. My ex-wife sent my son came out, and she still had some of my albums, particularly like Don Ho in Hawaii. Uh, I was stationed in the Army in Hawaii. I lived there for 3 years, and yeah. Big line. You watch TV laying down. Okay, thank you for answering that. There, I'm on, folks. 5 more likes. I know you got them in there. All right. Huh. Yeah, Frankie. My son also has got a thing listening to music too. He got one of those Bose, really great sounding. Uh, and you're correct. They're not making movies like they used to. Okay, they're trying to make movies just like they're doing social media now. Where you get clicks and views for people with short attention spans, and what's going on in the movie industry here in Hollywood. All right, is not good. They think it might come back. I don't know. I would hope that it would, but California too slow on everything, and too many regulations that you need to get and permits that are so costly. Uh, Come on, folks. Come on. 5 more likes. Let's do it. Come on. Let's hit that like button. Okay? All right? Mm. You're right, Margie. The mainstream media is garbage. Okay? I cannot watch Fox News, CNN, MS. And, I thought Live Nation was good. I started watching that, and now I can't even watch that. Okay? We just get these pundits and people they bring on, they say are specialists. You never heard their freaking name before. You don't know who the hell they are. Okay? You Google their name, you can't find nothing out about them. But, they say they're a specialist. Well, I'm a specialist too. Okay? I can say I'm a surgeon. Do you believe that I'm a surgeon and I could do heart surgery? Anybody there believe that? Come on, folks. 3 more likes. Let's hit that like button. Come on. Do it. Do it, please. You do sometimes in your bedroom. All right, well, a lot of people do. All right? 2 more likes, okay? We're almost there, Mandy. All right? That's by the banking system. Ricardo, who's having a lot of sex? I certainly am not. Oh, we got to the 100. Hey, folks, for a Saturday, all right? Before Memorial Day. The sun's still fighting to come out over here. 300, Israel, thank you, Bada, Bodas, Gatra. Did I say it right? Said that Israel has 350 nuclear weapons. I don't know if it's true or not. There was a show I saw on YouTube where they're told had part of Iran evacuate. because uh, they said Israel was going to use a nuclear bomb on them. I wouldn't doubt it. All right. Marjorie said the USA is powerful and it has the British Empire. And its Israeli friends riding on its back. Why do we have all these nations riding on our back? But yet our allies want nothing more to do with us. Why, folks? Why is that? Because this war is just not affecting the United States. It's affecting the entire global market. Trump is destroying the global market. Is he doing this intentionally? Is he doing this with Bibi Netanyahu with some sort of long range plan so that they both countries control all the oil in the world? Is that the plan? I don't know. But it's an interesting one. So think about that there. Because there's something behind it that we're not being told. Otherwise, why keep that port? All right? That port of Hormuz was open. There was no problem until, and don't make no mistake, it was Donald Trump that started this war. February 28th. Make no mistake, folks. Iran didn't throw the first bomb. The United States did. Keep hitting that like and subscribe button, folks. Thank you. We got over 100 here. Let's keep it going. All right. You know, people keep wanting to say Iran started this war. They did not. Okay. I seen pictures of Iran, of Tehran. It looked like a beautiful city. All right. The people on the streets, they looked happy. Okay. They didn't look depressed or oppressed. Uh, you know, it's like Russia. Everyone wants to say a lot of bad things about Russia because Putin's the head of Russia. But you see the people on the streets of Russia, and we got Russian friends that come here to watch my show. I do not know K. Korkihana. Some Smike, some Smee, some I get your names wrong. I apologize, folks. Okay. Oh, Bob Acosta. Thank you for thanking me for my service. Yeah, Trump is kissing it. Did you see him in China? How he was kissing up uh, the shade over there? Did you see that? I saw it. A lot of people missed it. Huh? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with China having a nuclear bomb. Nothing with Russia. Nothing. No problem with South Korea. No problem with Iran, Israel. Is it really they don't want to see Iran? Okay, they think Iran's going to hit the United States with a nuclear bomb. I don't think it's right then. Just don't think that they would do it. Why is our press making these people look so bad? I got Iranians that live all over this neighborhood in Beverly Hills. I got a Persian church up, or mosque, or whatever you call it, up the street. The mayor of Beverly Hills is Iranian. They're all nice people. I'm friends with a lot of them. Okay, Guy Possidy says you're 35, you don't want to live. I don't know why you feel that way, my friend. Okay, I don't know you. I wish that I could help you. Well, tell me why you don't want to live. What's wrong? Agent Orange, very good question. Why does the Americans continue to fight other people's wars? All right? Step away from the programming. Why do you think so many were for horse into talking the jab? Thank you, Marjorie, for sharing that there. All right, folks. Okay, anyhow, it was JFK assassination that changed things. Oh, it happened before that there. Okay. Be strong, hold alive, live God, love God. Yes, very good. Okay, thank you, everybody, for coming here today. I appreciate you all who are subscribed. I want to welcome all the new subscribers. Thank you for coming in. I want to thank you all for the respect, the love that you show me. And folks, look, tomorrow is Sunday. If it's a beautiful day, I might go to the park tomorrow and do one from there, introduce you to some people. You know how I go out and I talk to everybody. Okay. And Monday, don't forget, have your notifications on. I'll see you all then. All my love and respect to you all. God bless you all. Take care.